Today we're here at the Fargo Air Museum in Fargo, North Dakota in our newest flight sim lab. We are running Byte-speed computers and Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Today we will go through a basic tutorial on how to get set up and running with Flight Sim 2020. So we will start with the basic controls. Right now we have it set up as pretty easy mode. So you have your yoke right here. And if you go left, the plane will roll to the left. And you go to the right, and the plane will roll to the right. And then if you pull back on it, the plane will climb. You push in on it, and the plane will go down. These are more advanced controls, so we'll just keep these ones forward. And these ones are your throttle. So on landing, we'll pull them back, and on takeoff, we'll go forward. So with airplanes, you want to keep airflow over the wing so the plane keeps lifting. So if you get too slow, the wing will stop lifting and you'll start falling to the ground. So you want to make sure your airspeed's up high enough to keep that flow over the wing and the airplane flying. So when you're in turns, it adds some more drag, so you might want to point the nose down a little bit. And if you're starting to lose speed and you're getting a beep like you're stalling, you can push the nose down a little bit and you'll accelerate back up. It's kind of like riding your bike up a hill or down a hill. You go up, you're going to slow down. You go down, you're going to go faster. So if you get going too fast, you pull your throttles back. You get going too slow, you can give it more throttle. So let's dive in. We'll go to World Map. And since we are at the Fargo Air Museum, we will start in Fargo, North Dakota. So we'll pull up Fargo. We'll pick what runway we like. Let's do this one. We'll take off to the north. Then we can go over here and click on aircraft. Well, let's start off with what most people already know of is the Cessna 172. We'll get started on that one. So what we'll need to do is we'll release the parking brakes. Then you can push these all the way forward. And we'll wait till the aircraft gets some good speed to it. And then you can pull back lightly on the stick and the plane will just lightly come off the ground. Pull back slightly, a little bit more. Right there, hold it. Push down just a little bit. Right there, perfect. So now, another question for you, have you driven a car?
No.
So with cars, if you turn the wheel and you let go, the wheel will come back and the car will go back to straight. In an airplane, if you turn it over, it'll stay on how you put it. It won't autocorrect itself. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're flying airplanes is that you always got to tell it exactly what you want it to do. It won't return to center. It won't really do much on its own. You got to keep telling it what to do. So if you like, turn to the left a little bit. Just a quick recap is this big instrument here is how high you are. So you're at 2,100 feet. This right here is how fast you're climbing. You're climbing at about 1,000 feet a minute. This is your trim. So you can trim the airplane out so it doesn't climb or descend. It stays pretty steady. This is your flap indicator. And what flaps do is give you more lift so you can fly slower. And then on the far right side, left side is your fuel gauge, your angle of attack. And then your next round gauge is how fast the engine's spinning. And then your far left instrument is how fast you're going through the air.
Is that little thing right there where you're supposed to land?
This is in case you have an emergency, you can land at this airport. So that shows that it's an actual airport. And then in the top far left is your compass. It tells you which direction you're pointed, which direction you're flying. And that also has your autopilot in it as well for navigation. So now let's keep turning to the right. We'll go back to Fargo. So we're just going to turn 180 degrees around, so half a full circle. Okay, start turning left a little bit. Pull back up a little bit. Nice job. And Fargo should be right straight ahead. Okay, so I'm going to slow you down a little bit. Point your nose down just a little bit. And nice and steady movements is a key to a good landing.